Welcome to the O gauge and O narrow gauge of the Alameda County Central Model Railroad Club. We are located on the Alameda County Fairgrounds and are open throughout the year for various public events as well as the entire fair, which is held in June and July. We have been a functioning club since 1959. We have been in 3 different locations on the fairgrounds in various buildings. A.C.C.R.S. operates 2 layouts in the building for public viewing. One is O-scale, one is HO. The O-scale layout includes a standard gauge, narrow gauge, and an operational trolley line. The majority of our buildings are post-World War II and is a generic Western United States theme. We also have several quality die-cast automobiles and other elements that enhance the scenery on the railroad. For the kids, we have a scavenger hunt. We have various items such as a Godzilla walking through the city, shark attack, bear chasing people, camping scenes, and we have a list for kids to find these items, and it creates a tour around the layout for them. A.C.C.R.S. runs analog and digital command control trains on the main line. The narrow gauge is analog only. People are welcome to bring their trains to run, either club members or guests. Plus we have equipment that is owned by the club and is here all the time. We welcome guests and usually have people here on Friday nights if you wish to drop in. Thanks and welcome to our club. As the train travels along the back wall of the layout, it heads out into the open country, through a tunnel, and finally ends up in the mountains. As the train enters the mountain area, you can see a narrow gauge train passing by. The narrow gauge trains mainly serve mining camps, logging railroads, and any area where activity was generally temporary. We will take a look at the narrow gauge a bit later. As the train rounds a curve, it returns back to civilization and the urban area of the layout. This is the front where the public can have their best views. As a standard gauge train recedes into the distance, it completes its loop around the railroad. Now let's take a look at the narrow gauge. The narrow gauge division of the Alameda County Central Railroad comprises two loops, an upper and a lower, which are interconnected. Plus, you can run down to the other end of the railroad through a standard gauge yard where the standard gauge trains and narrow gauge met. This was commonplace in the real world, as narrow gauges tended to be short line railroads that then connected with the larger railroad system throughout the country. The upper loop of the narrow gauge railroad serves a logging camp, logging reload, and several mines, as was common in the state of Colorado. The lower loop of the narrow gauge serves a passenger station and also has the servicing facilities and roundhouse for the steam locomotives on the line. So now let's take a look at the upper loop first. This was a common train as was found on the Colorado and Southern Railroad, which ran from Denver to Leadville, Colorado, and then as well down to Gunnison. We are always looking for new members and volunteers. We are here from generally 7 to 10 p.m. on Friday nights and also on occasional Saturdays. We look forward to seeing you. Thank you.